Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? I am so happy to be back with you. I am here to chat with you just for a little while. I am so grateful that you are here and that you come by Bravo with Sheila Network and tune in to all of the wonderful information we have and wonderful programs and broadcasts we have to help you move from better places, from pain to power, and from power to victory. My name is Sheila Ingram. I'm a licensed professional certified clinical counselor, and I am here on sometimes Tuesdays, sometimes Wednesdays. Nevertheless, I am here, and I'm here to chat with you just a little while. I hope that you've been following the Relationship with Yourself series. I am, so invested in helping people understand the dynamics of life, the changes, the ups and downs and turnarounds, the challenges that we have to walk through on this earth. And so I'm invested in it because I'm so interested in sharing with people, no matter where you are in your heart, your mind, and your soul, and no matter what challenges you're facing, no matter what secret challenges you're facing, that there is hope for you, and that as long as we pay attention to ourselves and do the work on ourselves, we have the opportunity to move to another place. Many people struggle with so many different areas of life silently, right? And feel embarrassed or feel they don't understand what's going on. So they repeat this cycle over and over. And at the time that they're repeating these cycles, they're picking up layers and layers of condemnation and what people want to label them as. But as we seek to get more invested in ourselves, as we invest in ourselves, when we realize that when nothing changes, we have the opportunity to have a better, healthy life, a joyful life. We have the opportunity to move to better places in our profession, in our relationships. And the only way that happens is if we recognize, admit it to ourselves, and get help to do what we need to do to get further in our walk and our lives, right? To be healthy emotionally, physically, and mentally. And so today I just want to talk briefly about self sabotaging. This is something that can be done knowingly and unknowingly, but it is something that can creep up in your life through traumas, through circumstances, through the time and area of which you were raised, the culture in which you was raised. We pick up these different layers and we just keep moving, and at some point we run into ourselves. And so I just want to talk to you a little bit about self sabotaging, and I'll be looking at some notes, as you know I do, but always know I'm still with you. I am right here with you. Let's get into it because I don't want to be with you too long. I just want to drop some nuggets to give you food for thought and for you to possibly look internally at yourself and be sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? Moving you from pain to power and from power to what? Victory. I want you to walk in victory. So, have you ever found yourself working toward an important goal and only to fail because you did something that was you might call stupid? That's a question, right? But or maybe you feel stressed or anxious about something. You're trying to achieve a certain goal that is really important to you. This in turn might make you feel more and more frustrated, a frustration and discouragement and angry with yourself. These feelings tend to trap us, um, to keep us from doing what we need to do to get to a better place. And there are signs of self sabotage. And that's what we're talking about today. Self sabotage. Self sabotage erodes your self confidence, it erodes your self esteem, and affects your relationships with others. And with every failed attempt, I want you to know, with every failed attempt to do the thing you want to do, or prove to yourself that you can't or shouldn't do it. It's just a matter of internally what you're feeling about yourself. And whatever self sabotaging behaviors you have, it's essential that you overcome them. Very essential that you overcome them if you are to make the most out of your life and what a healthy life, a healthy relationship, a healthy career. There is a such thing as relationship with myself. This series that I've been doing here on the Bravo with Sheila Network is something for whosoever will to come in and tap into it and realize that there is a relationship with yourself. We always tend to put that outside of ourselves. Oh, I'm in relationship with this person, or I'm in relationship with that, or I'm in relationship with this or that. But what about the relationship with yourself? What is self-sabotage? Let me give you a definition. Sabotage is the act of destroying or undermining something, often in a covert manner. I said a covert manner. Usually it implies direct and deliberate involvement on the part of the saboteur. That's why the word is mostly commonly used in relation to spying or in business situations where an insider is causing what? Damage. An insider is causing damage. The term self sabotage is used when this destructive behavior is directed at yourself. What did I say? At yourself. At first, you may not even notice that you're doing it, but negative habits consistently undermine your efforts. Negative, right? Negative habits consistently undermine your efforts, and they can be considered a form of psychological self harm. A psychological self harm. I want you to understand that being in relationship with yourself is more powerful than being in relationship with anyone else. When you're in a healthy relationship with yourself, you can't do anything but bless somebody else and be in somebody else's space, given what? A healthy relationship, healthy conversation, healthy experiences, Signs of self-sabotage. Let's get into some of these. Of course, I can't finish all of them today, but I did want to come and bring a few. Self-sabotage can manifest in many different behaviors, unique to each person, different from each person to person, but there are some common reoccurring or recurring examples. You might forget a deadline. Here's one. You might forget a deadline or fail to prepare for a presentation that you know you have to do. Perhaps you're consistently late at work. You're late, right? You may also be a procrastinator, right? Repeatedly putting off something that you need to do, even though you know you need to finish it. There's something internally that causes you to do something to shift it, or you don't complete it, or you keep saying, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. That is a form of self-sabotage. And if you're sabotaging something that can take you to another level or take you to another place, right? Maybe you start projects but never finish them. Maybe you feel unable to proceed even when you're presented with an exciting opportunity. That may cause anxiety. You may go through some anxiety and you find yourself not going forward with this project, right? You may dream of doing something of a great personal significance, but never get around to doing it. Why? Because of those feelings that you have on the inside. On the inside, another telltale sign of self sabotage is that you grind to a halt for no rational reason when you're trying to achieve your goal. You just stop. You just in the middle. You just stop. You started out, but you just stop. Um, there are these things that come that cause you to fail and feel like a failure because they're internally. Now, many times people don't even recognize that you're self-sabotaging. And many times you may not even realize that you're self-sabotaging. Self-sabotage is often driven by negative self-talk, where you would tell yourself that you're what? Inadequate or unworthy of success. This is a big one. Unworthy of success. You find yourself thinking things like, you can't do that. You don't deserve that. If you try, you're probably just going to fail anyway. Why bother? Self-sabotage, big time. So here are some things that we know causes a big problem, which is self-esteem. One of the key reasons that self-sabotage is a lack of self-esteem. This can have many different causes, so many we can't break all of them down. This is just to bring awareness to you, to allow you to examine yourself. But the effects are the same feelings of worthlessness, or incompetence, the belief that you don't deserve success, even some self hatred. These are things that we must fix. We must align. We must get in alignment with ourselves on the inside. These things cause a great big disservice to us. These things cause us to be so unaligned and off when within our own selves. You may worry that you fail. Your family will think, here's another big one. Oh, my family, what will they think? They're going to think I'm a failure. Oh, I failed the last time. They're going to think all these things. Your coworkers will be jealous sometimes. Oh my God. I know so many people who would not take a promotion or who would not go further for feeling or thoughts about the other people in the room, the coworkers. These are things you must really sit with yourself and deal with in yourself. Just choose the ones that have been talking to you out loud in your head. These deep-seated thoughts and feelings cause negative self-talk, which fuels your fears for your self-sabotaging. But it gasses you. It gasses. These are things that gas you to continuously keep spinning and spinning and self-sabotaging, right? Self-talk, this low self-image. Some people self-sabotage because it makes them feel in control of their situations, right? And by sabotaging and then rescuing a situation, oh my, they might receive a short-term boost to their self-confidence, right? And it may even feel temporary, thrilling to them. However, these rewards turn out to be destructive in the long-term series, in the long-term basis. I want you to understand that self-sabotage damages you. It damages you in so many ways. It reinforces negative behaviors that eat away at your potential. I said it eats away at your potential and your success. And this way, you may constantly find yourself failing and falling short of goals you set for yourself. I'm telling you, this damages yourself. It can also damage what? Your reputation in a big way. If you don't do what you say you're going to do, there's a risk here. There's a risk involved that your boss, your colleagues could come to see you as unreliable and uncommitted and lazy and lacking drive, when all the time you hold and have the potential to do all these things. But because of those inner feelings that are shouting in your mind and shouting on the inside of you, you begin to self-sabotage. Oh my goodness. People who self-sabotage might also have a passive aggressive. They have a passive aggressive behavior and have trouble managing anger. These tendencies damage relationship with friends, family, and co-workers. Such failures and disappointments create further feelings of guilt. I tell you, this is a dangerous thing that we need to correct. We need to get back in alignment with the healthy space within ourselves. Defeating self-sabotage. The good news is that when you can overcome self-sabotage with practice and replace it with self-confidence, you can follow some of these steps that I'm going to give you about defeating self-sabotage. Recognize what is the number one thing, is to recognize your self-sabotaging behaviors. That's number one. How can you move forward if you don't identify it? To what? I always say crucify it. To stop self-sabotaging, you first need to recognize your own self-sabotaging behaviors. Think about goals that you've had for a long time. Just think about, and you have never accomplished them. You've never accomplished them for your reasons, not from the outside coming in. It's because of what you have done to cause these things to not come to pass. There are so many things that we have to realize that we need to continue to have motivation. Are you suffering from lack of motivation, even for important things? We need to align. You need to align. Consider something that you frequently fail at, and for no obvious reason. Is there something you do or don't do that consistently frustrates other people, your boss in particular? Is there an activity or task that nags at you and causes you dissatisfaction because you know you could do it or you could do it better? Listen to me. It may be painful feeling to ask yourself questions like these, but it's important for you to tune in, align with yourself to problem situations so you can better understand what is happening. Number two, understand the emotions. I need you to understand the emotions that leads to the behavior. Self-sabotaging behaviors often stem from feelings of what? Anxiety, anger, and worthlessness. Anxiety, listen to me, anger and worthlessness. For example, here's an example. You may have deliberately left a report unfinished because your boss blanked you in the corridor. This may be, and this made you angry and upset. The event triggered this event, what the boss did, triggered the emotion, which in turn led to a self sabotaging action. Listen, in fact, listen to me. Your boss may have been deep in thought about something else and would be shocked and sorry to realize that they'd upset you. But your emotional response doesn't take account of that. Remember, you may have deliberately left something, right? Unfinished because your boss, right? What happened in the corridor? Didn't see you, looked at you a certain way, and this made you upset or angry. Why? Because internally, this is how you are receiving these signals from yourself to yourself, which is not a healthy way to live, not a healthy way for you to accept from yourself. Remember, we're talking about relationship with yourself, self-sabotaging. Oh my goodness. Always aim to manage your emotions. That is something we all need to do. We need to sit, be quiet, and learn to manage our own emotions. Someone else cannot manage your emotions for you. They're not accountable to you. You're accountable to you. You're accountable for whatever it is that you walk through or been through that have creeped its way into you for you to feel like you're not worthy to be successful. You're not worthy to be the chief of things. You're not worthy to get the promotion. These are things that you've allowed to creep in. Maybe you don't even realize that you're self-sabotaging. I want you to know, always aim to manage. I want you to manage your emotions so that you don't commit these behaviors over and over and again, negative consequences, or that unjustly affect others. I want you to realize that how you behave, it bounces off from you to someone else. And people pick up certain things from you, whether you know it or not. But what I want more importantly for you to do is for you to recognize the things that you put off intentionally, the things that you say, I don't think I could finish it, because you might have heard someone say, they're not capable. How did she get that promotion? You may hear all types of things coming from left and right. I want you to turn the voices off and know that if the thing came to you, if the job came to you, if the promotion came to you, if the idea came to you, that means it was something that was given to you because what? You are capable of doing it. When you have when you self-sabotage, you tell yourself that I can't, I'm not worthy of this. Someone else deserves it more than I do. Stop thinking or beliefs that cause the emotion. Spot the belief. I want you to spot the belief system that is telling you that you can't do something. Chances are the emotion that led to your negative behavior was caused by irrational thoughts. And there it is right there. Irrational thoughts. I can't because of this. You create these stories that will what? Allow you to fall short. Time out. I want you to succeed in every single thing that you are designed and purposed to succeed. I want you to understand that when you self-sabotage, that you're just allowing yourself to wither away. And whatever was given to you, now you freely give it away to someone else, when in actuality, it was your assignment. It was for you to do or for you to say. So chances are the emotion that led to your negative behavior was caused by irrational thoughts. And so they're irrational thoughts and they're rational thoughts. You know, I counsel with irrational and rational tools so that people understand how to change their thought patterns, right? To change the rational emotive therapy of how they're thinking. Consider the evidence for those thoughts. In the example above, your boss wasn't being dismissive because they don't like you. They just had a lot on their mind. They were thinking about something else. You've already painted a picture that because someone walked past you or someone didn't see, you think they pretended like they didn't see you. That's the main thing where these self-sabotaging behaviors manifest. The ideal time to do this is when you're engaged in the behavior. I want you to monitor the stream of your consciousness. I want you to monitor your thought patterns and your thought system and write it down. Write it down. You might catch yourself thinking, I'm such a failure. My boss has probably reached the end of their patience with me. You've already created this whole story that probably doesn't even exist. Here's a tip. If recording your observations in the moment isn't realistic, not irrational, realistic, for specific memory techniques like image clues that can help you to recreate the situation in your mind later and recall what you were thinking. There's something that's called memory improvement. I want you to look that up, memory improvement. And that's a tip to help you segue yourself to be aligned with yourself. So when you know what your negative self-talk is, yourself with yourself, the deeper beliefs listen to me, lies behind self-sabotaging thinking, which is irrational thinking. Are these beliefs rational is the question. Are they based on any clear facts, or is it what you're telling yourself? I want you to work on this. Can your behavior, emotions, and change? Your behavior, emotions, and thoughts. I want you to change them. As you become aware of the negative emotions and behaviors and thoughts that trigger, right? Because this word triggers can happen. That's legit. That triggers happen, right? Trigger self-sabotage. You can begin to challenge them. I want you to challenge your thought process. I want you to challenge, is this rational? Is this thought factual? Is this a rational thought, or is this irrational? That's what I want you to do. And if you can change one of these aspects, the other will change more easily. Challenge negative thinking with logical, positive affirmations. If you have to put post-its all around, affirmations, positive affirmations, turn your assumptions around and gain so much needed perspective that you can do these things, that you can move to the next level, that you can be all that you have been called to be, walking in your full potential. Yes, I want you to know, simply change your behavior is unlikely to beat your self-sabotage habit in the long term if you don't also change the emotional thoughts, listen to me, that lie behind it. So there's what lies behind it that is pushing and causing you to somewhat believe this self-sabotaging behavior. But it can help if you notice, learn from, and give yourself some credit, right, for more positive outcomes, as this helps to break the cycle of negativity. This doesn't happen overnight. This is intentional work. This is on purpose work. This is recognizing how you're thinking and the behavior that lies behind what you're doing, what you're saying, the behavior that comes forward after you've accepted this self-sabotage. I want you to just remember that even you should develop self-supporting behaviors. When you identified and begun to defeat the false rationale for your self-sabotaging behaviors, you can start to rebuild your self-esteem. This is so important. You're on your way to rebuilding your self-esteem. Listen to me. You want self-esteem to be in a space where it girds you up and allows you to move forward and reinforces that you can do that report, that you can finish that particular report on time, that you can show up on time and not self-sabotage and walk in a space or in a place late intentionally. Oh yeah, consider the following questions. This is what I want you to do. What can you say to yourself that is positive and encouraging? What options do you have? Is there more than one way to achieve your goals? I want you to ask yourself these questions. Can you build self-confidence by setting and achieving smaller goals on your way to achieving what? Bigger goals? Stop putting too much pressure on you at one time. Smaller goals will lead you to bigger goals. I want you to answer those questions. Then use your answers to come up with a message that inspires you to move in positive direction. In a positive direction, that's where we're headed. For example, even though I may not complete this project on time, I know that I have the resources and skills I need to get me through. When I start to tackle the project, I know I will release a lot of stress and anxiety I've been carrying around while I've been procrastinating. Write something like that to yourself from what? What I gave you bullets of. What can you say to yourself that is positive and encouraging? What options do you have is the question. Is there more than one way to achieve this particular goal? Can you build your self-confidence by setting and achieving smaller goals on your way to achieving the bigger ones? Just by doing that, writing that, you can then come up with a message that you write for yourself where it's no pressure. No pressure. It's taking you on the journey to reassess and realign what you need to realign on the inside. Self-sabotage undermines your success despite your own wishes, dreams, and values. It often stems from low self-esteem, negative self-talk, and related negative emotions, which are continually forced by the resulting failure. But you, say me, say I'm saying you can beat self-sabotage by monitoring your behaviors, feelings, and your thoughts and beliefs about yourself and challenging them. There's the word, challenge yourself, challenging them when they stand between you and your goals. You have to look at self-sabotage as the enemy because that's what it is. It's the enemy. And when you think of it like that, you won't give it the space that the space that you've been given it. You have to think of it, this has come to harm me and I have to do something about it. I have to protect me. I have to protect my goals. I have to protect my destiny. This is how you must change those irrational thoughts to rational thoughts. Once you understand what is behind self-sabotage, you can develop positive, self-supporting. I said self-supporting to keep you on the right track. Listen, you can do this. You can get to this place in this space. You recognize this enemy that's trying to take everything from you. It is the enemy that is within us, the inner me of the enemy. The enemy that's in the inner me. You have to look at it as the enemy. Get angry with it. Say, no more. You will not rob me of another moment, another second, another day. I have recognized who you are. I have a name now that identifies who you are. I didn't realize what this was. I knew my behavior was off. I knew I didn't feel correct in what things I should have done. I didn't know it had a name to it. Well, now you know. The name is self sabotage. And I want you to have a healthy relationship with yourself, with yourself. And then you can have a healthy relationship with so many people, people that you love, your family, your coworkers, just people in the grocery store. I mean, self sabotage shows up everywhere. So we must eliminate it. We must annihilate it. It must die. It must die. So I want you to remember when those irrational thoughts try to pop up, you move them out and then you pull up that rational thought in your mind. Is this real? Is this factual? Is that why? Is that really why they walk past me? No, you must take control of your behavior and your thoughts. You are in charge of you. Do not give your power away to self sabotaging or anyone or anything else. You are accountable to yourself. If you need more help with this, reach out to someone, reach out to get counseling, reach out to someone who understands you, that can chat with you and help you when you start this behavior, because you will definitely move people away from you and they may not want to be in the same space that you're in because of the negative talk that comes out of your mouth all the time. And people don't like that. People want to be around healthy environments. So try to work on this day by day, line upon line, precept by precept, little by little, right? Don't overwhelm yourself. Remember that when nothing changes, nothing changes. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad that you've been here with me today. And I pray that some of these things woke you up, or you identified, or you know someone that is walking with self sabotage. Help them have a greater relationship with themselves. Listen, stay tuned for more Bravo with Sheila Network. Monday evenings, Beyond the Mic. I'm here on Wednesdays, Tuesdays, and on Thursdays is Dawn B, Thursday night with Dawn B. We're so excited. Thank all of you who allowed us to get to those 4,000 watch hours and we become monetized now. Thank you so much. We celebrate you. I celebrate you. Thank you so much for being who you are. Continue to grow. Continue to know that everything in you was designed to be, let me put it to you this way. You are beautifully and wonderfully made, right? Any and everything that you have been designed to do and get, it is in you. Life sometimes throws so many layers on us. We get lost in our own being. I'm telling you to wake up and realize that when nothing changes, nothing changes. All right. So I'll see you again soon. I'll put some counseling information up. Okay. This broadcast was for informational purposes only. I think I maybe need to put that up so that we cover ourselves here. Hold on, wonderful people. If I can find it. Stay tuned for more. All right. I hope to see you again soon. Stay well. Here we go. There we go. See you later. Ciao. Ciao.